Hey, welcome back, guys. Thank you for dropping by watching my video. It's been a while. It's been almost a week since I uploaded a video. I've been having a hard time trying to find a game that would actually interest me. So apologies for the late video, but at least now we have something we can talk about. And this is another upcoming game called Monster Hunt. So I would assume some of you have already seen videos posted by other YouTubers out there, and I just want to talk about it myself. I mean, it looks really cute, looks really nice. This block type animation really, has a lot of impression to me, and it reminds me a lot about Mobox because Mobox, the Momos are really adorable because they look like boxes with they look like this one with just a box, right? This one has a body in it, but at the end of the day, I think these are designed very nice, and I like it a lot. So for me, it's resonating well, and unfortunately, they already have a closed beta. I think it already started today, so I don't know what the feedbacks from the players are. I'm gonna probably hover around in the Discord channel just to see what happened, what are the inputs from the other players that have played the game, because I'm really curious myself, how it really pans out. Because in most cases, we don't really know. And we can actually watch the trailer. I'm gonna shut the video down. I mean the volume down, so you can see the design that they're showing here. They're really cute. I really like the design, and yeah, I'm already sold just by the design alone. So the next question in my head is, all right, so how's the game gonna work, right? So you're seeing here, this is something how the game will work. They put in like blocks here, so this is like a step by step where your character will try to get into and do actions. And hopefully that the one that they showed there, you may have a certain area where you can walk around. I don't know if that's gonna happen, or maybe that's just part of the trailer. We'll also see. And there's also another part where they showed here. Let me just recap it a bit. So this is the versus version. This is where your monsters or your blockchain monsters will fight. And mind you, if your blockchain monster, loses in the fight, they have a chance to die permanently. So that's something to think about. So this is something you can't just go in and fight, right? You have to think about, is this something worth getting into? But then again, you can revive them, but it will cost you the I think BCM token that you need to have, and I don't know how much it's gonna cost. They haven't mentioned that one, but at least we know that's gonna happen. So in here, they also show you, I think, in terms of experience, your momos, your blockchain monsters will level up, and yeah. So that's pretty much the preview that they gave. So I'm really hopeful that that's what is reflected in the actual beta that they produced. So I'm really excited about that. And you can also see here that the IDO will still launch. It hasn't happened yet. I think it's around October 12 to 14 or somewhere there. So if you are interested, you can actually join in. The only challenge here is that, let's go to the tokenomics because it's mentioned there, Bcmc token. Let's click that. Right, so let's get into first in the token price. So the public sale price, they're gonna sell it for 0.09. So if you are part of the IDO group, so they mentioned here there are 3 IDOs, 3 launch pads that will support their IDO. So Chain Boost, Polka Starter, and Moon Edge. So one thing you need to know is that these launch pads have certain requirements. As I've mentioned in my previous videos, most launch pads will have requirements that they need you to stake their tokens, and certain amounts will give you certain privileges. So the higher the amount, the higher you stake, then the better privilege that you'll get. So I guess it's up to you. I suggest look into those and see if you have the money to do that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not going to be limited to just one game. So the moment you just stake for that particular launchpad, then you are also open. You can also access other projects that are being supported by these particular launchpads. So if there are other games in there you'll get a chance to participate in their IDOs. So in a way, it's good if you have the money to stake for these particular launchpads. So yeah, so that's one option. But yeah, for me, I don't have the budget, so unfortunate. I'm not gonna be able to participate in the IDO. So if you want to take the risk and try to buy the token once it's available in any swap or any DEX, then good luck, and hopefully you earn a lot of money from there. But for me, I'm gonna watch on the sideline until the pump and dump happens. If it happens, then I'll start looking into it and see if I can enter from there. So that's for the tokenomics. I mean, not exactly tokenomics, but for the IDO for the tokens. Then what are the uses? The use case for Bcmc. So they mentioned here that you can use it for marketplace and portal fees. So when they say portal fees, it means that there are specific locations available in like, there's a world map, for example, right? So for each world map, there will be like this world map is the Ethereum world map, this world map is for the BSC world map, and so on and so forth. So if you want to travel to the next chain, then you need to get into that portal fee. You need to pay a portal fee so you can travel to that area. All right, so next is catch power. So you'll need Bcmc to catch monsters by boosting the success rate. Extra life coin. So this is what I mentioned earlier. So this is one way for you to be able to prevent your monster from dying. If in case you lose, then of course earn and govern, then staking for battle. So there is a stake to farm here. I'm not exactly sure how that's gonna work, but definitely that part alone I'm interested. And of course, free to play. You do your battle, you win, you get some Bcmc token. So that's the use case for the Bcmc token. So overall, I think it's a pretty well thought out process, and you have a lot of use cases for that token. So it's not something like it's not something you just flip out, right? You earn some tokens, then you just exchange it, so you get the money, and you're done. At least for this case, that I need this so I can boost my success rate. I need this so I can buy some additional monsters, or I need this because I don't want my monster to die. So there are some use cases for it, which is great. And let's get into the not exactly white paper, but more for the gameplay. So this is where they will mention the what they call as the blockchain timeline. So as I mentioned earlier, right, I thought it was going to get bigger than that, but as I mentioned earlier, it's going to look something like this when you get, when you get to an area. Then for each block, they will, they represent a different type of activity that you can do for those blocks. So they mentioned here there will be a catch block, battle block, and what's the battle logic for it. So catch block is where you will catch monsters. Then battle block is where you will battle other players and earn some Bcmc. Commercial block is where, I guess, if they have partnerships, if there are free monsters that you can take, then that will be the commercial block. Then they also have what they call as cooldown block. So they mentioned here that if, let's say, for example, for a specific world or for a specific chain, there's like so many players playing in that chain, so there's a higher chance of you encountering a lot of cooldown blocks. So cooldown blocks is where you're not going to be able to do anything. So yeah, so I guess in a way it's for them to control the population. Not all players are just sticking to one location. They want them to start exploring other areas. Now the question in my head is, I don't know if, like, let's say I transfer from BSC to Ethereum world, so anything, any action do I take there, like any gas fees requirement, is that also going to be part of the Ethereum chain? I don't know. I hope not, because if that's the case, then I'm never gonna visit Ethereum chain, right? I'm just gonna lose my money. So anyway, so that's how it works in terms of gameplay. And they also have the laboratory. This is where you'll I think I forgot what the term is. It's where you can upgrade your units and turn them into evolved forms. And this is what the world I've been mentioning earlier. Like, for example, this is the world map, and let's say this location is like the Ethereum chain map. This is the BSC chain or something like that. That's my understanding. And if you want to travel to each of these worlds, then you need to pay a portal fee to get into these worlds. And you'll take, I think, 5 monsters with you, and you can do your adventure in that location. All right. So that's how it works. Now next is trade. So they have the marketplace, which is the typical where you buy buy and sell units. Now, what's more interesting for me would be the flash loan. So the flash loan is where you can loan your monsters, which is awesome. So if you're lacking monsters, let's say maybe you lost one or something, but you need additional monsters so you can finish a quest, for example, then you can do a flash loan. So right now, I think they're planning to make this cross chain. So they mention cross chain a lot because what they plan to do here is they're gonna, I guess they're trying to get all of the customers from different chains, right? But I think majority of the people are in BSC, but there are also a lot of players in Ethereum, and there are also Polygonmatic. There are also players in Heko chain, Moonbeam. I don't know what that is, Ambrose. I'm not very familiar, but yeah. So these are the supported chains that they plan to make it a cross-chain, I guess, monster hunting. So that's pretty cool. So I don't know how they're gonna make that work, but in terms of gases, of course, you can select which chain you want to be in. And I would assume nobody wants to be in the Ethereum chain if you're gonna keep playing the game, right? Maybe the gas fees alone would just eat up all of your earnings in the Bcmc tokens. So anyway, so that's the plan for their team, and these is actually the team members. So they're all fully doxed, right? So you don't need to worry anything about it. If you want to look into what their credentials are, they're actually in the website. You can go down here. No, the team. You can go here, and you can just click and see what their backgrounds are, what they've done. So that's pretty good. So here we're gonna look into the roadmap. So they have the cobblestone launch. So I think this should have started now, and hopefully they've already completed all of these. But I don't think it's available yet. I think the marketplace is not yet available. So I think they're still working on this one. Then Q1 2022. So this is where they start using the flash loan, achievements and quests. So I guess I would assume at this point we're gonna be able to play the game. I don't think it should be locked to a specific, to closed beta right now. Then they also mention here the NFT cross-chain portal. So I guess this is the part where you can start traveling to different locations. And ERC20 multi-chain LP. I did not like seeing that ERC20 because if it's gonna be in the Ethereum chain, I don't think I'll ever participate that. The fees alone, the gas fees is just painful, really. Q2 they plan for Metaverse Land NFT, so I guess they would have land sale, then they'll have breeding, and BCM cross-chain. Okay, so they're gonna have the cross-chain marketplace at Q2, so that's pretty late actually. Then they'll have the PvP battles, Q3 Metaverse battles, tournaments. All right. Generic, I don't know what that is, but again, that's too far away. Don't really care what happens there. But right now, what's important is they'll be able to get into these first 3 items here. If they're able to implement that, then that'll be great. So I think that's pretty much about it. So the game right now is already in closed beta, as I mentioned earlier. Looks pretty promising in my perspective. It's not going to be as immersive as other games that I've looked into. So up until today, I would say the #1 game that I'm looking forward to is Chompy Valley. But there's nothing yet in Chompy Valley to compare this game, because Chompy Valley only has screenshots. I don't even know if that's gonna be the actual game, but it's something I'm most excited about, so we'll see. But yeah, so right now this is what we have. So hopefully the game will launch pretty soon, hopefully somewhere mid or late October. Then I'll probably make another video once we're able to access the game. Alright, with that guys, thank you for watching the video, and hope to see you again in my future videos. Have a nice day.